What small thing should be illegal because it pisses you off on a daily basis? Meetings that should have been an email. Having to take a 3-hour train journey so they can read everyone a PowerPoint presentation in the same room. Entering an elevator before people have exited said elevator. Pillory for the day. This one gets me. I live in a dorm and am constantly almost running into people because they try to get on the elevator before I get out. Also, people who wait 5 seconds after the doors open to get out the elevator. Move your ass. Playing music out loud from your phone on the bus. Why would you even do that? The music sounds so much better with a headset. I want to call attention and show how great my music is because I'm obviously better than everyone else and have better taste. Online recipes prefaced with 7 paragraphs of blogging. On one hand, I just want to learn the secret to getting my sourdough to rise. On the other hand, this woman has just written a 2,500-word essay about the cracks appearing in her marriage, and I'm really rooting for her now. People stopping for a chat in crowded areas or narrow places. And not even moving slightly when you are pretty much pushing them to get through. And then they look at you like you're the a-hole because you have the nerve to try and get to where you need to go. Radio commercials that play car horns, sirens, or crash sounds. Why? I'm driving. Asking me questions while I'm using the urinal. I work in IT, coworkers see the bathroom as my office. Wait, it isn't? Simple cure for that. Turn towards the person talking to you and answer their questions while urinating over their shoes. In the grocery store, leaving your shopping cart blocking one side of the aisle while you stand next to it, blocking the other side of the aisle, leisurely considering which box of sugar to select, while oblivious to other shoppers waiting to get by. I'm raging just reading this comment. Sometimes I feel like I'm the only situationally aware person in the whole goddamn grocery store. Apparently being aware that people are within a certain radius around you and making sure there is space for them to get by is some kind of mutant superpower that only a handful of people have. People who speed up when you try to pass them, and then they pass you again later, only to slow down again, forcing you to continue the game. I consciously, actively maintain a constant speed. A-hole, the reason I caught up with and then passed you in the first place is that I'm driving faster than you are. Or they whip out right in front of you in a big rush, then proceed to drive nice and slow. My co-worker giving 40 minutes of backstory for what ends up being about 5 minutes of pertinent conversation. That's my mom in every conversation we ever have. My boss was like this. I would just cut in and say, "Land the plane," to try and get her off her tangent. She genuinely appreciated it. Sometimes you don't realize you're doing it. Old people that can barely drive. Can't tell you the amount of times I've almost been hit by them because they're just so unaware of their surroundings. Worse than drunk drivers a lot of time, but no one will force them to retake driver's test past a certain age because it's political suicide. I had an old man back into me once, so I followed him on a chase while I called the cops. I didn't know he was old when he hit me. The cop came to my door and said, "You know he's in his 80s, right?" As if that were a good excuse. Granted, there was no damage to my car, but it sounded like he hit me pretty good, so I chased that fucker down. I had an old lady reverse out of her drive and knock me over when I was walking on the path. Cut my knee and shook me up. I banged on her rear window to tell her to stop as she carried on reversing after I picked myself up, but she was completely oblivious. I kept banging on the window, but she just put it into gear and drove off. I shouted after her, and a couple of other old folk walking down the street told me I was disgraceful for acting that way, even though they must have seen her run me down. I think it's a pride thing. I was proud of my grandma when she voluntarily turned in her license. She tried to get her slightly older best friend to do it too, but she was stubborn. Customers treating employees like trash. It is insane how common it is for customers to scream at people that already have enough on their plate. Then your company to come around and bend a knee to them and do anything to please them. I think working at McDonald's has really taught me to always treat people how you would like to be treated. Customers were so demeaning to me there, and it made me feel so low. So I am always overly nice to cashiers, waiters, etc. 2 semi-trucks in each lane of the highway side by side going the exact same speed. Making articles of clothing with fake pockets. Or even pockets that are too shallow. Don't entice me with a nice functional pocket and then not deliver. Come on. Whoever designs clothing with fake pockets has a ticket to a special place in hell. Parents who allowed their child to watch something on their iPad loud as fuck at a public diner. I was in a movie theater once, and some a-hole kid was allowed to watch his fucking iPad on full blast during the movie. So in the middle of a suspenseful thriller you got Dora the Explorer in the background. So inconsiderate. Why are idiots allowed to have children? The perfume the guy I work with wears. I think at one time he was a smoker, and has no sense of smell. It's definitely perfume rather than aftershave. He smells like a prostitute's gooch. It could be that he is used to smell so he uses too much. I've been guilty of this. Someone pointed it out so I stick to 2 spritzes even if I can't really smell it. Not a daily basis, but public speakers who ask, "How are you doing?" to a crowd then do the, "I can't hear you" bullshit. If it's before noon, they deserve to be shot. No one wants to be there, a-hole. Just move on and try to make us interested. I worked at a place a while back where they had mandatory monthly meetings. For my shift it was at 5 a.m. The speakers were loud like this and even required people to do the wave. Worst damn experience of my life. I'm laughing so hard imaging a bunch of tired, angry people begrudgingly doing the wave. Chewing with your mouth open. My father-in-law is the loudest chewer I've ever known, and he moans while he chews. Moans. I can barely stand to be in the same room as him if he's even drinking some water. Bringing up babies or toddlers to movie theaters. Actually illegal where I live. You have to be at least as old as the film's rating to get in. Holding your phone like you're about to eat it with the loudspeaker on while talking in public. Honestly, what's even the point of doing this? I really want to know if someone has an answer to this. I see it all the time, and it drives me fucking insane. I can see absolutely no benefit to it. People at the gym who bring like 8 different pieces of exercise equipment into an area or squat rack and hog it all for an hour until they're finished. If you ask for a piece, they're like, "Oh no, I'm using that for my ultra super duper set." So frustrating. I had someone hogging the squat rack while they talked on the phone a few weeks ago. He wasn't doing his exercises while on the phone, and when I went up to them asking to use it, they shooed me away and said they will be using it shortly. The fucker. After he was on the phone for 10 more minutes, I snuck to the front desk and they told him to get off the phone or go elsewhere. He got off the phone. Spelling my name wrong in emails. My name is in my email address. My name is in my signature. In my last email to you, I put my name in. Just copy and paste my name rather than making up your own spelling for it. Not using your blinker. Half the morons on the road in my city would be off the streets. In Boston, using your turn signal is like telling the enemy your plans. It's a nightmare. Spending 5 minutes at checkout searching for a few 25-cents off coupons that you swore were in there. In general, taking an unnecessarily long time pissing about at grocery tills should be a crime. It's especially infuriating when it's the express line, which is specifically fucking designed to move quickly. Clipping your fingernails in a common cubicle. Sending sick kids to school. I'm tired of my entire family getting sick because of it. Littering, especially from your car window. Like, if you happen to drop something while walking, at least you can go back and pick it up. But that giant paper bag full of Happy Meals you threw onto the highway? Fuck you. One of my managers is this ungodly annoying bubbly lady who greets each employee with a shrill, ear-splitting, "Good morning" each time they enter the room or when she first arrives in the office. Someone needs to fine and imprison her. Having cancer, I get so frustrated at all the cures people share. Sour honey cures cancer. Glucose causes cancer, eat less carbs. Gargle with vinegar, it removes cancer toxins. Yep, suddenly everyone is an oncologist. My husband has been told to cut out all sugar, that cancer is actually a fungus, and that the medical marijuana he uses to treat symptoms can actually cure him. His response: if we'd cured cancer, I wouldn't have cancer. Advertising on streaming services. Cable broadcast has laws prohibiting things like raising the volume on advertisements compared to regular programming. Streaming apparently does not. Streaming ads are not embedded in the streamed show, Thus, they can require greater network capacity and resolution, causing the process to stall. Lastly, it should be wildly illegal to show an advertisement before the content if the content fails to load. FX Now is particularly egregious about showing ads and then their player cannot load a show, so you have to rewatch the ad about 5 times to get their player to actually work. Posting spoilers for movies and TV shows on social media. It's such an evil thing to do. Not everyone can go to the theater opening night, or watch the season finale the day it airs. Just stop ruining it for everyone. Loud parties from neighbors. I don't know how it is managed in the US, but here in Mexico there's way too much tolerance towards those kind of things. You can't really do anything about it. I've had to rent a hotel room to run away from the terrible noise and get some sleep to keep working very early in the morning the next day, and it's caused me a lot of health issues. What small things should be illegal? Leave a comment and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos like this one.